everyone, thank you for watching and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with a story time. Ooh, that was my coffee almost trying to fall on me. Ooh. Anyways, today's story is some juicy stuff, you guys. It's some tea. Now, I've noticed you guys love tea because I see y'all like my reviews and I see y'all like my tutorials and whatnot here and there, other videos, but I see that my story times really get some views, and I'm just starting to wonder, y'all like the tea like I do, or what's going on? Cause we gonna be friends here. We gonna be friends. Like, we gonna get along. Okay, so today's story time is gonna be the time that my best friend slept with my date. Now I know that sounds like some messed up shit, and it is, and it was because I was like past tense, but yeah, it's reality. So if y'all want to get to know the story time of today, y'all keep watching. So this takes place back, I want to say 9 years ago. I know I'm over it. I just thought I would share the tea with you guys because it was some like, oh shit, oh, and then this happened, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, like little things start happening and then shit adds up. It's kind of like, I don't know about you guys, but like, are you guys in forensic, like into forensic files and stuff like that? Because I am. Like, you know how you get like little clues here and there and you start adding shit up, and then like at the end you're like, I knew it, or you're like, oh damn, like the outcome, you know? Okay, enough with the criminology stuff. So anyways, this is my story. And yes, it did happen for real, and no, I'm not making it up. Damn, I wish I had that much of not intelligence, but like creativity in my mind to be making stories up like that. You know, there's so many things that have happened to me that I'm like, damn, like someone gotta be out there writing a book of my life or something, like with me in there or something. Like somebody gotta be scripting my stuff because it's too much. It's like movie status, you know. It's like, wow, it should really happen, you know. Some of it's like novela status, some of it's like movie status, like, and I'm just like, man, it just seems like someone's really scripting my life, you know. It's just like that, like, really, you know. But that's the kind of look I have, but whatever. Anyway, so this takes place 9 years ago. 2009, 2010. So what was that? We're in 2009, so 9 years ago. Okay, 8 years. 8 to 9 years ago. Okay, whatever. Same thing. It happened. That's you know, I'm scarred for life. Just kidding. Anyways, so it took place 9 years ago. And so what had happened was I got heartbroken, right? Like, I was, you know, that's another story. It's another story I want to say for you guys, but you guys are all gonna hate him. You guys are gonna hate him. It was this boy that broke my heart in high school or whatever, okay? And so I was heartbroken for him, and I was trying to get over him. And so, I remember I was going to adult school because, I had to make up some credits because my smart ass took AP history. And the reason why I took it is because, like, you know how, like, counselors tell you all these things about, oh, if you take AP classes, like, you're gonna get so much credit for college, and once you go to college, everything's gonna be easy peasy because, like, you're at college level already, pretty much like pre-college level. I don't know. You know how, like, sweet talk you out, they try to help you out, but really, like, they need to really see what you're capable of, not just throw you out there. And I'm not saying that I'm not capable of it, but I was just going through so much during my teenage life that I could not concentrate for crap, you know? And so I decided to take this class and to get credits for college or whatever. And in the beginning, I remember it was like so interesting. I was like so into it because, like, we even had to like dress up and everything, like, you know, like history times and, like, you know, the 50s and the 40s and 30s, and, like, you know, we got to dress up. Like, that was a cool class in the beginning. But then it started getting so boring that I was like, oh my god, like, I was over it. And again, I was going through so much mentally that I really didn't have like the capacity of like giving my 100% to school. And I regret that so much, you guys. If I have any young viewers watching me right now, please, if you need some help, like counseling, I don't know, whatever is that you're going through, get some help. Focus on school. Try to do your best, because if there's something I regret so much, it's not giving it my very best, you know. And the grades that I had, I figure out after, the grades that I have were never because I wasn't smart enough. It's because I just didn't give it my all. Because, you know, once you see that you give it your all, you see what you're capable of, what you can what you can do, then you notice like, damn, I could have done this better. I could, you know. So out of the subject, I'm sorry. So anyways, I was going to adult school, and it was kind of cool, you know. It was kind of cool because it's like you're pretty much like being, I know you guys remember what it was to want to be like, to want to feel grown, you know. And I remember like I was like 17, or is it 16? I was like 17, and I was going to adult classes, and adult classes started, I believe, at 8 o'clock, or it was like 8 to 10 or 7 to 9. It was like 7 to 9. It was 7 to 9. I remember now. So like adult school started like 7 to 9, and here you are like going on your own to like this building. And it's not just like students. It's not like young students. It's like older people too. Like, you know, they're 17. There's like people who are like 40, 30-year-olds. Some trying to learn English, some trying to do something else. Some of us were trying to make up credits, and that was me right there. So I remember like after water polo practice, I would go straight to adult school. When I didn't have water polo practice, I would come from that. It just made me feel so grown, you know. It was like, you know, like, yeah, I'm 17 years old, and I'm going on my own to get my credits done, you know, like I need to get this diploma, blah blah. And so, like I said, I was getting over this heartbreak, this huge, one of the hugest heartbreaks I ever had in my teenage life. Okay, one of the hugest heartbreaks. And so I was trying to get over him. I really don't 100% remember how is it that I started having contact again with a really old good friend that I had before, or, you know, or what I thought was a good friend. But her and I had fell off the wagon for the fact that she didn't drop out of high school. I know she got her diploma somehow, but she ended up going to like this other school that was like specially for people who like weren't doing good in school and blah blah. So they go, I don't want to say the name of the school, but they go to this other specific school, and it's known for like troublemakers and this and that. Usually girls, when they would get pregnant, you know, they had to stop, you know, high school at a certain point, and then they had to make up those credits if they wanted to graduate, right? They wanted to walk the aisle with us. And so she got pregnant, I believe, on her sophomore year or freshman. You know, she got pregnant on her sophomore year. And that's when I last heard of her. And then she like dropped out for a little bit to have her baby or whatever. And then she went to the specific school to make up her credits, right? And so we didn't hear from her. By we, I mean like my legit best friend that I've had for life ever since like middle school all the way till now. So let's name her Bailey. We're gonna name her. I'm not gonna use real names. I don't use real names. I just don't think it's cool. As much as they messed me over, I don't think it's cool. You really have to piss me off to like not care. But anyways, we're gonna name her Bailey, my best friend. So last time we heard of her was in sophomore year. Now Bailey and I and this other best or good friend, we're gonna name her Candace. Okay, so Bailey, Candace, and I go way back. Like Candace and I had met at primary school, elementary. And so Bailey and I had met in middle school, the beginning of middle school. So then we all, you know, since Candace was my best friend at the time, or I consider her my best friend, her and I met Bailey. And so we became really good friends. We were hanging out all the time. We would walk together in the morning to school. We would hang out in recess. We would hang out in lunch. We would walk home like together. We just all lived like within each other's, like within blocks of distance, you know, like Candace and I live like within a block of distance, and then Bailey and I live within a block of distance too. So I was like in between both of them. Anyway, just want to give you a little bit of background so you guys kind of like, you know, get where we met, how we came up, where this Candace came from, where this Bailey comes from, you know. Okay, so like I said, last time Bailey and I heard from Candace was in sophomore year because, like I said, she got pregnant and she had to leave high school or whatever to have her baby, and then she had to go to this continuation school to make sure she gets to walk the aisle with us. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember her being in our ceremony when we graduated, but whatever. Was she? No, she wasn't. I just remember she wasn't. Sorry, brain fart. So, like I said, that's the last time we ever heard of her, whatever. And when I was going through this heartbreak, I was already in my senior year. Like, I was already months away from graduating already. But like I said, I really had to make up these credits or else I wasn't gonna graduate. And things were different at that time. I heard everything's like much easier now or whatever. Like they used to like threaten our asses with everything, you guys. Like, I mean, like, you get in a fight, you're not graduating. You do this, you're not graduating. Blah, 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 this, you're not graduating. Like, oh, they would threaten us so much. We were scared to even pick a fight or something. We were scared because they were just threatening us that we weren't going to graduate, you know? So, like, I really don't remember how is it that we came in contact again. At that time, we had this thing called MySpace, and I believe that's how I came in contact with her again. And then she gave me her number. We're texting or whatever. And so at that time, I was like so heartbroken. I needed someone to like talk to. And Bailey, as much as she was my best friend, like she was so naive and so like, you know, she just didn't understand me in that aspect, because she didn't even have like her first love ever, you know, like she had crushes here and there, but she never got into relationships or anything, and neither did I. But you know, this boy really broke my heart. And he was like, I guess you can call him a boyfriend. I really didn't consider him a boyfriend, but he was like a boyfriend or whatever. And he really broke my heart. And I needed someone else to talk to. Like maybe they could like cheer me up more. I don't know. So I started talking to Candace, and she, you know, I started venting to her and telling her I was really hurt, blah, 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 this and that. And he did this, and he did me like this, and blah, blah, blah. Can you believe this, you know? So Candace is like, wow, that's like some pretty messed up stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, I have a friend, and he's pretty, you know, he's single, and he's looking for someone to talk to. He's looking for, you know, a friend, someone to get to know, and I think that you guys will really click, you know? And, you know, I was just trying to get over this boy. I wasn't really looking for anything, but I was really trying to get over him. Like, I was just so hurt. I was really trying to get over him. And so I accepted. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, you know, what does he look like or whatever? First of all, what does he look like? Because, you know, I'm not the physical type, but there has to be something I gotta like for me to even date, you know? Like, there has to be something, you know? Especially if I don't know them. And so she sent me a picture, I remember, and the guy looked pretty cute. Like, he looked pretty handsome. He looked like, you know, like he took care of himself and stuff like that. He looked pretty chill, pretty calm. He looked like a nice guy, and I was like, sure, you know, I'll try it out, whatever, you know. And she gave me his number, and she said, oh, she showed him my picture, and then she's like, oh, he says you're really cute, and she's like, here's his number. He said to text him. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'll text him in a bit, you know, because remember, all this is happening while I'm in adult school. Now, adult school wasn't hard, okay? It wasn't, to make up those credits, it was like the easiest thing in my life. If I could have done all high school like that, it would have been so easy. All I had to do, you guys, is he would give me, the teacher would give me a book, and then he would give me like this packet of assignments. Every week he would give me a packet. I would have to turn in that packet by the end of the week. Every sheet had like specific instructions, and you had to make reports, essays, and all that stuff, but you never had to interact with the teacher at all. Like, all of this you could have probably done it at home, and just like you could have done it one day at home and then bring it every Friday, and you will get your credits for that. Like, it was just so easy. And so we could do whatever we want. He didn't care if we had our phones. He didn't care if we had our headphones or anything like that. He didn't care. It was so chill, you guys. I miss adult school. Oh my god, the way they handle things, it's like But it was so easy. Like, I was just doing my packets left and right, doing the reports, reading what I had to read, and I was texting her and listening to my music, and it was so chill. Like I said, like, you felt grown because you're like, yeah, I'm doing my own thing. Like, they trusted me with all this stuff. Yeah, like, you know, I'm gonna graduate. So, you know, you have all this like vision ahead of you, and you're like, yes, I'm gonna get my diploma, then I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So everything was really cool, but I was going through this heartbreak, you know. Emotionally, I wasn't like, it wasn't all that in a bag of chips for me. And so then we started talking. I remember, like, I text that guy, and, you know, all he spoke is Spanish. I was like, hey, you know, what's up? And he's like, hey, you know. And we just started talking, like, just very chill. It was nothing flirtatious. It was just a very respectful conversation. Now, the conversation was so respectful that I kind of didn't really feel like, you know, a connection. But I'm like, he said I'm cute, so it's like he likes me, you know. Automatically, you know, someone tells you you're cute, and, you know, here's my number, text me. It's like, okay. So we started talking or whatever, and you know, I was texting her and I'm like, yo, I like him. He's pretty respectful. I like the fact that he didn't just come at me, you know, like he was just being respectful. And he's like, yeah, he goes, she's like, you know, he's a really cool guy. You know, he lives here with us. And with us, by us, I mean like it was her husband, and then they were living in her husband's mom's house along with his brother. So it was the mom of her husband, his brother, her, and this dude that I'm now talking to. Now this guy rented rented with them or whatever, you know. And they lived in a 2-story condo, like a duplex condo, those like little condos, like it's 2-story. And so you know, him and I were talking or whatever, and then her and I agreed that we needed to hang out. You know, I wanted to meet this guy in person because I can't just be talking to this guy I don't know, you know. I wanted to meet this guy in person. And so we had agreed that we wanted to hang out. And then Bailey was also really eager to see her, you know, because like I said, we missed each other because we go way back from middle school, you know. And she totally fell off the wagon. It had been like 2 years or almost 3 years since the last time we saw her physically, you know. And we also didn't, like, we never met her baby in person. So we were just so excited to go to her house and see her, you know, hang out and just like, you know, remember old times. And I also really wanted to meet this guy in person. And so, you know, we went over to her house or whatever, and I meet this guy in person for the first time, and he was pretty nice. But I did notice that he just looked a little older. And mind you, I have always, you know, I like older guys. But I need to know, you know, like it's something you need to know because you need to, I don't know, you gotta know, you know, like we never talked about age. All along, of course, he knew I was like my friend's age because obviously we're all best friends. And so all along he knew my age, but I didn't even ask him how old he was. And he was really respectful, but he didn't go at me. Like he didn't even try to come and flirt with me or anything like that. So I was like, oh, okay. And I told my friend, like, he's pretty cute, but he's very like reserved. Like, I don't know. Like I was so reserved, you guys. I was raised very old fashioned. Like, my mom taught me, like, ain't no one touching you, ain't no one this, and, like, you know, like, she taught me, like, if they really serious with you, they need to come over here and ask for permission that they want, you know? She was very, like, she raised me that way. And I was very reserved. I was, like, I kept my distance, and I was so awkward, because I was never good at, like, flirting wasn't my thing. Like, flirting wasn't, like, something that I would do, because I was so awkward. And so, you know, he was reserved. I was so awkward, and I wasn't gonna go at him. Like, I wasn't gonna come for him. And so we just said hi to each other, like, real quick or whatever, and he was in his room all the time. So it's like, we didn't really interact, right? And so, you know, I told her, I'm like, I like this guy, but I'm like, how old is he? And she's like, oh, he's 28. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so he's almost 30, and we're 17. I was like, well, I really like him. I just love the way he respected me, I guess. Like, usually guys, well, the reason why I really didn't have relationships at all is because guys were just so annoying. Like, they would just come at you in a way where you're like, chill out, dude. Like, it's not even like that, you know? At least that was me all the time. Like, I always had self-respect, and I wasn't just gonna let anyone just come at me and just, you know. And I guess I really liked the way he treated me because, of course, he's older. He knows how to treat a woman already. So then I'm like, oh, okay. So we hanged out for a little bit, and we talked very little. And then after that, I was going home, and we were texting, and he's like, hey, he goes, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm a very shy person. I really wish that I would have, you know, come and talk to you, but I'm just very shy, and let's just get to know each other a little more because, like, I need to get comfortable. I'm like, it's okay. I totally feel the same way. Like, I'm a shy person too. I totally understand you. Don't worry about it. No pressure. Okay, so we talked and this and that. Her and I were hanging out more often, obviously, because, like, of course, because she's my friend and want to hang out, and we haven't hanged out in a while. And then obviously because, like, I want to get to know this guy a little more. But this guy was working all the time, so we hardly saw him. When I would go visit her, he was always sleeping because he would work the graveyard shift. So it was like, you know, it was very hard to talk because during the daytime he would be sleeping, and during the nighttime I would be sleeping because obviously I go to school the next day. And I remember sometimes I would stay until like 12 or 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning studying just so I can talk to him. But in reality, I was also in drama class, so like sometimes I will stay up that late, one, to finish my homework, and two, to, you know, study my my script that we were gonna act next, you know, whatever show we were gonna do next or whatever, right? Because I was in drama class. And I will make the effort to stay up as much as I could. I was even on coffee and everything just to talk to this guy because I really liked him, and it seemed like he liked me. So, you know, it was just like, I was 17, you know, I was naive. It was really easy for me to, like, you know, fall for a nice guy. And so we would talk or whatever and stuff like that, and I would start hanging out with her more often. And but I just started, like, I don't know, I started kind of feeling a little weird because sometimes, like, her and I will go, like, he would always say, hey, let's go get some ice cream. Oh, okay. And then he had a Mustang, and I remember, like, I will always go to the back, and then she will go on the front, and then he was in the front. And then they were always playing around. Like, they were always messing with each other. And it got to a point where they would even get physical and stuff like that. Like, he would hit her. He would hit her. She would sock him. And then he would, like, grab, like squeeze her, like, so hard and hurt. Like, it was just, I don't know. Like, it was just, like, now that I think about it, that I'm an adult woman, like, it wasn't right, you know, because she's married. She's married to this guy. This guy is working. He's out there working or whatever. And, you know, they both always end up alone in the house. And it's just, you kind of have to have a line, because it's a very thin line, you know, like, and you can't cross it. It's very easy to cross, and you can't cross it because you're married, and then, dude, you're, like, over here renting, and this shouldn't be happening because, like, you guys, she's married, and they're giving you a hand over here. You can't bite the hand that feeds you, you know? So, but at that time, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, well, they just get along so well because they live together. Obviously, like, they see each other as brother and sister. Like I said, I was very naive. And I just started noticing that, and then, I don't know, we're just talking, but I noticed that nothing would get anywhere. He wouldn't try to go out. He wouldn't try to, like, nothing. And then he wouldn't be, like, that, like, openly flirtatious, but he was so poetic. Like, he would always be sending me poems. He would always be sending me, like cute little stories and stuff like that, and it would just make me fall for him. And until one day, I'm like, screw this. Like, I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to be here, like, you know, just, like, this little, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, like, let's go forward, like, you know, like, straight up. So I remember, I talked to my mom, and I told her I like this guy, blah, blah, but he's older. And my mom didn't really care about the age, for the fact that she always dated older men, too, for the fact that they were, or we thought they're smarter, you know? And she's like, you know, it's cool, just, like, you know, make sure you respect yourself and this and that, you know, my must. And so I was like, yeah, of course, I've always had self-respect. I'm not about to, you know, ruin everything, you know. And she's like, yeah, it's cool with me. So I talked to my mom. I didn't want to hide it from her. And so I told him, like, hey, you know, so I really like you, and, you know, I was just wondering, why not really try something, you know, let's try to go out together more, let's try to this and that. And he hit me with oh, you know, I like you too, you're a beautiful girl and this and that, but you're a minor. Like, yeah, you knew this since the day one when you start talking to me. Like, you knew I was a minor. So I was like, oh, but don't worry. I was literally like 4 months away from becoming 18, like turning 18. I was literally 4 months from turning 18. Like, I remember. And then he's like, yeah, but like, you know, you're a minor. I don't want to get in trouble. Like, you know, I'm like 10 years older than you and blah, 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 this and that, you know. I've had really bad experiences with women and this and that, and I'm really heartbroken and this. Like, he started coming to me with all this, like, soggy story that I'm like, at that time, I'm like, oh, I understand. But now that I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, you were just pretty much trying to put me on hold kind of thing. Like, he was just pretty much trying to put me on hold. So I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, that sucks because I really liked you and I thought you liked me back, though, you know. He's like, you're really pretty and this and that, but no, like, I don't want to get in trouble. And I was like, oh, okay. So it was like, I was heartbroken because I was like, I really like this guy. And then, you know, so I told my friend I was really heartbroken, this and that. She's like, I'm sorry, girl. He's just gone through so much. He's really hurt. He's like a broken soul, blah, 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 blah. So all this time I'm confiding in my friend how I'm feeling, you know. And I remember, like, like I said, like I was like so naive and so like cheesy and so innocent, you know. And I will make him like little cards for his birthday. I remember I like crafted a card and you know, made it with drawings and like stuff like that. Yeah, I cut out like little drawings, stuff like that, and then I took him a piece of like his favorite cheesecake or something like that. And I was just like that thoughtful, you know. And so then I told my friend, you know, I'm like really hurt, you know, this and that. And she's like, just give him some time, you know, this and that. Like, just keep talking, keep knowing each other. But I was like, I don't know, like I don't want to waste my time like that. Like I don't want to be that person who's like living in hope. So then and so like I talked to him and I'm like, hey, you know, like maybe you need some time and I'm willing to wait, this and that. And he told me, yeah, he goes, I just need a little bit of time, you know, before I jump into a relationship, blah blah, blah, this and that. And I'm like, I understand, I'm patient, don't worry, but for now let's just keep talking to each other to see where this takes us, you know. And you know, we were talking and this and that. We were just talking as friends now. Like we really try to like not cross the line at all, you know. We were talking as friends. Everything was going great, everything was normal, but then things make a turn, like a total 360-degree turn. So this one time, Candace and him get into a huge fight, okay? And we're gonna name him Ray. So Candace and Ray get into a huge fight about God knows what. I never really got to know what happened, but I can imagine now. So they get into this huge fight. And out of nowhere, one time I was talking to her and I asked her about Ray, and she's like, oh, I don't know, I don't talk to him. And I was like, why? She's like, well, we're not talking. And Candace was this person where like, if she did something wrong and you confronted her, like now you're not gonna be talked to. Like she could be the one that started crap or did something wrong, and if you express your emotions about it, like if you're like, hey, I'm not cool with that, she stopped talking to you. Like, oh, okay, you're not cool with it, well, I'm not talking to you no more then. Like she was that person. She was never the person to apologize. It had to always be you, the one who'd be like, oh, you know what, maybe I overreacted, I'm sorry. Like she was that petty person, you know. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So then I asked Ray, I'm like, hey Ray, what's going on? Like, how come Candace and you are not talking? And he's like, oh, we got into this huge fight. I'm like, about what? And he didn't really want to tell me. Like, I remember he was just going around it. Like, he didn't want to tell me at all. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess. Like, that sucks because I like you and she's my friend. Like, how can you guys, what happened, you know? He didn't want to tell me. And then I remember one time he called me. He's like, hey, he's like, why don't you tell Candace that I need to talk to her? Like, why can't you, like, tell her that I need to talk to her? I'm like, Ray, I'm like, you live with her, why don't you tell her? And he's like, she doesn't want to listen. I'm like, well, then she's mad, you need to give her some time. And he's like, she needs to understand that our friendship can't end like this, blah 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 blah. I'm like, you need to talk to her, you know, like your problem was with her, not with me. And then I remember he was so insistent, but I didn't think anything of it. Like, I just thought, like, you know, well, they're really good friends. Who wants to lose a good friend? Especially because, like I said, I thought, like, they saw each other as brother and sister, you know? They got along so well, like I said, to the point where, like, they even got physical sometimes. So, but, like, to me, that wasn't, like, anything because, like, I always got physical with guys too, but because like I was always hanging out with guys. Like I was in the water polo team, I was in the wrestling team, I was in the boxing team. I was always around guys. So like I always like played rough with them too. So I didn't really think anything of it. Because I did that myself, if I know so myself. And he was so insistent that I was like, oh my god, like what do you want me to do? And he's like, let's get into this 3-line conversation. So I'm gonna call, he goes, I'm gonna call you. And then you're gonna dial her. Or he said, you're gonna dial me and her at the same time. And you guys are gonna talk and you're gonna ask her what's wrong. And you're gonna, try to, he's like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna like talk to her and you're gonna tell her, you know, you should really try to give Ray a second chance. Like whatever it was that happened. You know, you guys need to talk it through. You guys are my two, like, you know, you guys are really special to me. Like, it would mean a lot. Like, he was trying to manipulate me. And afterwards, I found out how manipulative he was. You know, he was trying to manipulate me to, like, doing this. And I'm like, Ray, I don't feel comfortable doing this. And so I called her, but she didn't answer, you know. And I texted him, like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable doing this. He was so insistent, you guys, that I was like, oh, my God, like, you know, I'm sorry you're going through, like, you know, this friendship heartbreak, but like, you know, like I can't do anything for you. And it got to the point where he was like, yeah, I'm so resentful with her because she don't want to talk to me. So I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to be in the gym for 3 hours. Like, it was getting weird. And so I was like, okay, like, whatever, you know. And I don't know, things just got so weird and odd. And I remember, like, later on they find out that she's actually talking to this other guy, and she goes to this, I remember she told me and Bailey that if they asked for her to say that she went to a retreat with us, because I was going to a retreat. I went to a retreat, an actual like Catholic retreat, which I love, by the way. And she said, okay, if they ask you guys, can you guys please tell them that I went to a 3-day retreat with you guys and blah blah. I'm like, okay, like, we got you, like, I'm your friend, you know. Is everything okay though? No, she goes, everything's fine. I just need some time off and I need to go somewhere where I can just think things through. I'm like, is everything okay? She wasn't the type to talk, right? So she goes, yeah, I just need some time off. Okay, whatever. So I listened to her, and you know, whatever if they ask, you know. And he's like, hey, she's like, do you know what's up with her? I'm like, no, I don't. She doesn't want to tell me anything. He's like, well, do you know what she is? Because she left Friday morning, and she said she's not coming back because she's going to some retreat with you guys. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to a retreat. She goes, are you? He's like, are you guys? And I'm like, yeah, Ray, we're going to a retreat. And he's like, really? Are you really? You're going to a retreat when you just went to one. I'm like, well, he's like, stop lying, you know? And he pretty much told me, like, hey, we've caught her that she's, you know, cheating on her husband. And we found pictures. And I guess, like, they were sending each other, like, nude pictures. And, like, she was saying all these things to him, blah, blah. They caught her. And I'm like, look, Ray, I really don't know what's going on. But that's what she told us, and she's our friend. We have to back her up. So he's like, okay, well, this is what you're going to do. We're going to all gather up with her husband and her husband's mom, and you're going to tell them that you know that she's lying and blah, blah. And you're going to tell them that you also know that he's actually cheating on him, and that you saw and this and that. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, what makes you think I would do that? He's like, you just need to tell him because this is for her own good, because this needs to stop now, blah, blah. I'm like, Ray, I'm not going to do that. I'm her friend. Like, I like you, but, you know, he was really trying to, like, use me. So I cut both of them off because I really don't want to, it was just going too far. And I'm like, Ray, you know what? I just think that this is not, this is way too far, you know? Whatever she's doing is some of her business. Whatever, you know, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm sorry. And so we stopped talking for a long period of time. Like, Ray and I fell off the wagon, right? And so I kind of just, like, afterwards, I kept thinking and thinking and thinking, what the hell is going on? What is it that's going on that it's like he's so insistent? Like, you know, he's like, okay, like, one thing is like you're heartbroken because your friend stopped talking to you, but this is getting obsessive. Like, and I was like getting freaked out already. So I was telling Bailey, I'm like, hey Bailey, like, I don't want to have anything to do with this, you know, do you? She's like, no. She goes, I don't even want to have to lie. Like, I don't want to lie. I'm like, don't worry, like, if they say something, I'm just gonna be like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be part of this, you know. So we fell off the wagon or whatever. I start trying to, like, move on, even though I really liked him. I start moving on. I was heartbroken because, like, I kind of had to stop talking to him because he was just so obsessive with her that I didn't want to have anything to do with him. And every time, like, I would talk to him, she would always bring her up. So I was just so annoyed at this point. I'm like, damn, you guys need to go fix your stuff and leave me the heck alone, you know. And, you know, I was trying to date here and there, trying to move on. I graduated from high school, and then I finally met this boy. And this boy is the one that is now my husband. So I was really into him or whatever. I was already dating him. I was officially his girlfriend. And then Ray tries to jump into the picture again. And so I was like, okay, why are you... Of course, right? Like, once you're dating, like, these dudes trying to crawl up on your life again. Like, you know, they try to crawl in again. And you're like, what are you doing here, you know? Okay, so anyways, he tries to crawl in again. At this time, I already had a job. Like, I was, like, you know... I was working like these 2 days. The place where I got accused of stealing $500. That place, my other story time. If you guys haven't watched it, watch the story. It's a good story. It's a good story. It's the time that I got caught. I got accused of stealing $500. Watch the story so y'all can know what happened. Okay, so I was going to this place. He texts me out of nowhere. He's like, hey, he goes, I want to meet up with you because I need to talk to you. And I was like, Ray, like, you know, I'm working. He's like, well, what time are you off? And I'm like, I'm off at 2 o'clock. You know, he's like, okay, I'll pick you up. We'll go have some lunch together. I'm like, okay. So he picked me up or whatever, and we go to this like random place. I forgot the name of the place, and they like their specialty was like soups, and the soup was delicious. Back at the time where I was able to eat seafood. So anyways, we went to this place where they have soups or whatever, we eating, and then he starts telling me, like, we start like talking, just like, you know, how you been, this and that. Oh, you look thinner. Of course I did, because I was like super taking care of myself at the time, because I had a boyfriend already, you know. So he was like complimenting me, like, oh, you look so good, blah blah, this and that, and I'm like, thanks, you know. And he's like, well, the reason why I wanted to talk to you is because I just feel like it's fair that you know the truth. And I was like, what truth? And he's like, well, you know, I really want you to know what really happened with Candace. And I was like, okay. Mind you, Candace was so weird. Like, she would just fall off the wagon like that. I hadn't spoke to Candace in the longest time, okay? And then I'm like, okay. So, he's like, well, first I need to talk to you about the situation. I'm like, okay. And he's like, so I had a friend, blah 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 blah. So he starts like talking like third person wise, like he had this friend who was like married, but I guess she wasn't happily married because they didn't treat each other well, and everything was always like they're always fighting and this and that. And then her and him started liking each other, and they started messing with each other, and they started sleeping with each other. Like, I know where this was going already. Like, I was naive, but I wasn't stupid like that, you know. I know where this is going. And at that time, I was already, like, heartbroken. Like, I had gotten my heart broken so many times. Like, you know, you kind of open your eyes to life, you know? He starts telling me about how there's this girl, blah, blah, this and that. And they start messing with each other and this and that. And I'm like, okay. Like, just get to the freaking point. Like, I know where you're going, you know? He's like, well, that woman is Candace. And I was like, of course. I'm like, you know what, Ray? I kind of predicted you. Like, I kind of knew. I kind of suspected something. He goes, did you? I'm like, yeah. Like, this is why I dropped you. And I was like straight up at this point, you know. I had a boyfriend. I don't give a fuck if you don't want to talk to me no more, you know. I have a boy. I got a dude here, you know. I'm like, this is why I dropped you, because I kind of suspected something was going on. Like, come on. I'm like, what friend gets so obsessed about somebody talking to them again, ever again? Like, you were just so weird. He goes, I want to apologize to you because this and that. Like, you know, I didn't treat you, because yeah, it got to a point where he was a bit of a jerk to me. He's like, you know, I started treating you like bad and you didn't deserve. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I'm over it. Okay, that's fine. And I'm like, and then he's like, I was a little heated because it's like, you know, everything's like adding up. You know, everything's adding up. It's like my good friend that I thought was a good friend, knows that I'm heartbroken. Then she throws me with this guy who she's sleeping with, and she's motivating me to like talk to him and date him and give him time and keep wasting my time with him, you know. Like, oh, I was so stupid. And I guess she thought I was pretty stupid too, because she was sleeping with him. Mind you, I wasn't that type of girl, and if that was the reason why he didn't like give me a chance at the time, that's cool with me, because I wasn't just gonna sleep with someone just to keep them happy, you know. I reserved myself to the right guy, and I'm so thankful that I did, you know. And she was that kind of girl who was sleeping around, and cool, you know, like, if that's what you want to do, by all means, but I'm not the one to do that. And so he tells me, and that girl is Candace. I'm like, okay, well, I kind of saw it coming. But what got, like, you know, like, at that point, I didn't really care. Like, I was a little heated, but it was like, you guys are messed up for what you did to me, because you knew that I liked you, and you kind of, like, gave me that hope, and then you try to cut me off, and you just hurt me. I'm like, you just hurt me like that. And her, I'm like, I don't even care anymore, because I don't even have to, I'm not going to talk to her ever again. I don't give a damn about her, you know, like, I don't care. And he's like, well, you know, one thing led to another, and, you know, I just thought, you know, if she wanted to and I wanted to, like, why not, you know? Why not? Oh yeah, like, you're right, why not? Like, everything makes sense, you know. You're this guy who's like vulnerable and very heartbroken, you know. She's this girl who's unhappily married with the guy who they're always getting into a fight with, you know. Yeah, and then, you know, coincidentally, you guys live together already, so sure, why not, you know? Oh, I think we're leaving out a little detail, a very important detail. You're living under her husband's mom's house, who you claim to be best friends with. at the same time, they're helping your ass because you're so broke you can't even get a place of your own, and so you're renting this little space with a little bed for $200 because your ass is so miserable and broke right now that you can't even afford your own place. But you're good to try to mess around with some other dude's wife who lives there with you and who they're trying to help you. Yeah, why not, right? Because you're a real piece of shit. That's why. At this point, I was just like, you know what, Ray? I really don't care anymore. Like, I don't want to know about it anymore. Whatever you guys did right there, I don't care anymore. Like, I moved on. I'm happy with this guy I'm dating, this and that. And he's like, I'm happy for you. You know, he's a very lucky man, this and that. Like, you know, I just needed you to know the truth. I'm like, it wasn't necessary. I kind of suspected already, but okay. Okay, so I thought things were just gonna end there. Like, okay, you and I will be friends, whatever. Yeah, we can still be friends. It's cool. Like, I wasn't gonna be his friend, but it's like, just leave me the fuck alone. Take me home already. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, you know, thank you for the lunch, but I'm not interested in being even your friend. You know, I don't care. But then, you know, I start having a little bit of issues with my guy at that time because he was so different. He was so immature, and I'm like, you know, going through this stuff. And I remember one time on Valentine's Day, like, he broke my heart. Something I said pissed him off, and like he just stopped talking to me, and it was like our first Valentine's Day together or something. And Ray came to my house with flowers and chocolates, and I was like, oh, thank you. He's like, this is just me a way of apologizing to you and showing you the kind of princess that you are, you know, and this and that. I'm like, okay, thank you. And so he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I just got in a fight with my boyfriend, so pretty much nothing. And so he's like, want to go to the beach? I'm like, it's 9 o'clock. He goes, yeah, let's go now. You've never been to the beach at night? I'm like, no. And come on, you guys. I was 18. I was super hyped. I've never been to the beach. I've never gone out, you know? Like, I was a really good girl. I was just in school, sports, and clubs, you know? And so we went out. I wasn't going out with him in any kind of other way, but just to have a good time because it's Valentine's Day, you know? And so I went with him. I went along. And he's like, yeah, let's go to the beach, and then we can have something to eat after if you want, blah, blah, this and that. I'm like, okay, sure, you know. I'm heartbroken. This dude is being a jerk on Valentine's Day with me. Why not have fun with a friend, you know? I wasn't going anywhere. Like, I wasn't that kind of girl. Like, I wasn't that kind of girl. So, I was so used to hanging out with guys because, like I said, I wasn't that kind of girl. And so we went to the beach or whatever. While we were driving there, like, my guy was like giving me a hard time, and then this guy was like, you know, don't show him that you're her. That's what he wants. And so, like, I kind of needed that, you know. I kind of needed someone to be like, hey, like, don't let him treat you like this and that, you know. He was being a girl. Because, mind you, I really didn't have any friends because I'm really picky with my circle. Like, precisely because, you know, friends are, you think they're your friends, but they're not really your friends. And Bailey didn't really understand me at this point because, like I said, she's never been in a relationship. You know, she didn't have that kind of advice. And so this guy was, you know, he was older. He knew where he was at. Like, so, you know, maybe he made a mistake, but he was right. I didn't have to let this guy treat me like that. And so we just totally decided to forget about the situation and have a good time. So we got to the beach or whatever. And it was fun. It was so relaxing and soothing because it's nighttime. And then you start hearing like a dolphin here and there. Like, you know, it's really nice. And then we start talking about stuff, and he starts telling me how I'm a really special girl, this and that. And at the same time, like, I kind of always wanted to hear that from him, so it kind of felt good. But it's like, it's too late now, you know? So I didn't really feel anything towards his words. We kind of had to leave because, like, next to us, about, I don't know, 10 feet of distance, there was, like, this couple, and they decided that it would be a good idea to start having sex right there. You know, next thing the guy was sitting, next thing you know, like, the girl starts getting on top of him, and you know the rest. And so I'm like, oh, hell no, dude. Like, I'm not trying to, like, be here, like, watching some, you know, live porn here. Like, can we just go? He's like, yeah, let's go. As we get up, he starts, like, making, like, these, like, I don't know, like, he starts trying to play with me. He starts, like, chasing me. And then he chases me, and then he catches me, and then he tries to carry me. And I just felt like right there, it wasn't right. Because at the end of the day, even though I was in a fight with this guy, like, I still had a boyfriend. I had a compromise here. And I just didn't feel things right. And I'm like, you know what, let's just go home already. He's like, you don't want to go eat anything? I'm like, no. I'm like, it's pretty late. And then right there, it started like pouring. Like, it started raining out of nowhere. And it was so weird. Like, it started raining out of nowhere. And I'm like, let's just go. Because it's getting, you know, it's nighttime. It's raining. And then I remember, like, I had to go to the bathroom. He was like trying to find a bathroom for me. This and that. It was kind of cute. And then I got home, and you know, throughout the time we were sitting at the beach, I was telling him about how, like, this guy wasn't acting right, blah, blah, blah. He was trying to give me advice and this and that. Okay, well, I was being heartbroken, this and that. Afterwards, my guy and I break up because things didn't work out. Who is not my husband, but anyways, that's another story. We break up, things didn't go, I don't know, I was just fed up. And then I started telling this guy how I'm heartbroken, you know, Ray, because he's my friend now. You know, even though everything happened, I'm not resentful. He's my friend now. So I started telling him about what things that happened. And he's like, you know, you're such a princess. Like, you deserve to be treated like a princess, and you deserve a guy that treats you right. Throughout this time that we've hanged out, I've noticed that you're such a good girl, that you're the type of girl that any man would like to have. A girl who's not playing games, and a girl who just wants to do things right. And I feel like I would really love, like, someone like you in my life. And, you know, and I'm wondering, and he's calling me, like, at this point he called me, you know. And he's like, and I'm wondering if you and I can try something out. He goes, I know it might be too soon because now you're in the situation where you're heartbroken, but I want to show you that I can really treat you right, and I can treat you like a queen. And, you know, we can date, and we can go out and just do so many things together. Instead of that, you guys, I know that that's something I would have loved to hear when I was, like, really into this guy. But at this point, that's something that was, like, it really angered me at this point. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And he was like, excuse me? I'm like, are you kidding me, Ray? I'm like, he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's too late. And he's like, what? I'm like, it's too freaking late. Like, I'm already heartbroken with this guy, and now you're telling me that you want to try something with me after all that freaking time that I was pretty much begging you to please accept me, give me a chance because I really liked you, and you give me some bullshit that you know because I was a minor, you didn't want to get in trouble when all this time you were sleeping with my best friend who was also a minor, and now you weren't trying to get at me with I want to try something else with you. Why, Ray? Right, because, like, she left your ass already because she doesn't want to have anything to do with your stupid ass. That's why. I'm like, no. And he's like, wow. And I'm like, what? He goes, you really changed. I'm like, no, I didn't change. It's just the fact that I don't have to take, you're right, I don't have to take any bullshit from any stupid dude, you know? And you're not gonna be an exception. And he was like, okay. I'm like, okay. He's like, well, I'm sorry if I upset you. You have a good night now. Okay. So I was so angry. I was like, yeah, I told him this and that, you know, like, yeah, I told you, you know. And he was like, he texted me, he was like, you know, I'm so disappointed that this guy hurt you so much that I made you change your mentality. Like, whoa, don't get things twisted either. Like, no, this is the way I really feel about you because of what you did. Like, what do you mean this guy changed my mentality? Like, he's another story. Like, don't confuse things, you know, like, you messed up. You messed up and you acted like a piece of shit with me, and I gave you the benefit of the doubt, and you're lucky I even became your friend, okay? You're crossing the line. I'm like, don't take advantage of it and don't get things twisted. I don't like you like that anymore. And he was like, you know, you're really breaking my heart. I really liked you, and you know, I hope that he even, like, he was treating me like I was wrong, like I was being dumb with him. I was just hurt and I was acting out of rage, like out of pettiness, you know, like pettiness. And he's like, I really hope that you think about things, and that you know, when my actual friend, the one that I used to have before, the one that I used to talk to, when she comes back, he was so weird, like he was so poetic. So he was like, you know, if you ever see her again, tell her I said hi and that I miss her and this and that. So he's talking about, like, the old me, that he says, like, there's an old me, because he was a very poetic guy. He's like, if you ever see her, if you ever find her around in you and yourself, like, tell her I really miss her and that I really need her and this and that. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, fuck out of here, you know? I was like, I was just, like, so fed up with him. I was like, the hell out of here with that. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, okay, whatever. You have a nice life or whatever, you know? So it's like, this dude really tried. Like, this dude really tried. After, like, he slept with my best friend, he really tried. He really thought that something could have happened between us. He really thought that, you know, we could still have something. Like, yeah, you know, kind of like the Kardashian shit. Like, you know, like, yeah, like, you know, I slept with your friend and I used to live in their house and with her husband, with being my best friend, and then, you know, this and that. But, like, you know, I could still try to, like, what you mean? You got the wrong one. You're like, I'm not the one, sweetheart. Like, I am not the one. And you know what, you guys? Low-key between you and me, excuse me, I'm sorry. Low-key between you and me, I have a feeling that he also used to sleep with my best friend's husband's mom. Now this hoe was crazy. Like, she was fucking crazy, okay? This biatch was like, she was crazy. She was crazy. Like, she was some psychopath bitch. I remember one time we were like driving somewhere. I don't know what the hell we were driving. She was in the car and she had to go pee, and she started screaming off the top of her lungs like, I gotta pee. She was so psychopath. But I feel because he was in such need, I feel like the reason why she charged him so little is because they were sleeping together. I don't know why I have this feeling. Like, she wasn't even like she was like, no. But like, I don't know, like she was so weird and so like, I don't know, so psychopath. Like, I just have this feeling, like, after I found out the piece of shit he was and how like he looks out for his benefit, like, I don't know, I just think like they were sleeping together. But anyways, this story might be so long and I'm so sorry, but there was just so much tea to it. I really hope you guys enjoyed it though. That was a time where I found out that my best friend was sleeping with my date. And I call him date because, like, you know, we were talking at one point like as if we were gonna try something out. So that's why I call him my date. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. And I don't know, I just I don't know, it still kind of leaves me thinking. Now I need you all to know that I'm not a resentful person, and now we do keep in touch because we went to like the graduation. Oh no, never mind, we never hanged out again. But afterwards, like, one time I saw her and I just saw that she wasn't doing so good. She had like a second baby, and I remember one time, like, I was like 19. I was like, at that time I was already like married with my husband, and I had my kid, and I saw her with her 2 children in a stroller walking in a plane heat. Like, I knew she wasn't doing so well, so like I didn't have any resentment against her, and I'm not saying I'm happy about that, but I saw how like she wasn't doing so well, you know, because, you know, actions, you're always gonna pay for your actions regardless. Like, I don't care who you are, you're gonna pay. Like, it doesn't matter if you want to be a saint now, you're still gonna pay for what you did in the past. And she wasn't doing so good now, so I know she got hers, you know, she got hers, and I'm pretty sure he got his. I've never ever heard of him again. Like, he fell off the face of earth. I've never heard of him again. One time I could have sworn I saw him at the gym, but when I said his name, he stopped, but then he kept walking. And he looks so thin and old and like messed up all the way. Like, he didn't look like the Ray that I knew. But anywho, that's another story. He probably got his too. But her and I keep in touch because, like I said, I'm not a resentful person. She's doing great now, and I'm genuinely happy for her. I'm pretty sure she grew out of that person that she was. At the time we were so young, I'm pretty sure she changed as a person. I hope to God she changed as a person. She's doing great. She's actually pretty successful right now, what she's doing, and I'm really genuinely happy for her because that means that she changed as a person. If good things come to you, it's because you changed as a person. So I hold no grudges, no resent, but this worked as a story time for me, so that's cool with me, you know, because I am here giving y'all the tea and the beef and whatever happened or whatever. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my story. I'll have more of these coming to you, and yes, I do have like some crazy stuff coming your way. If you guys have any suggestions or anything you guys want to see me do, let me know. Anything but like weird stuff, okay? Just let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you guys like the story. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I hope you guys enjoy having coffee with me, tea, whatever it is that you're drinking. I forgot to tell you guys to get your snacks and get everything, but y'all know the drill. So yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe. It really means a lot. We're growing little by little, and I'm just so happy and overwhelmed with all the love and support I receive. It means a lot, you know. It means a lot. Share my video, like, subscribe, whatever y'all want to do. Follow me on Instagram, Delicious Beauty, and on Facebook, Maria Espinosa. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and you guys take care. Okay, bye guys.